Hey guys, how's it going? In this video, we're going to be doing an unboxing and I'm going to give my first impressions on the Galaxy Tab S10 Ultra. This tablet is on sale at the time of this video. And if you want to check it out for yourself, the retail price is $1,200. It comes in two different colors. We have this platinum silver and this moonstone gray that we're going to be checking out here today. And there's three configurations of this tablet. We have 12 gigs of RAM and 256 gigabytes of storage, then 12 gigs of RAM and 512 gigabyte storage, which is what I have here. We're going to be checking out today. And there's a maxed out 16 gigabyte RAM and 1 terabyte storage model for more money. Inside the box, we have the included S Pen here. Looks to be a bit of a lighter shade than the actual tablet itself, but check that out in a minute, see what else we get in the box. We also have a very lengthy USB Type-C to Type-C charging cable. We have a SIM ejector tool for the included micro SD card slot in this tablet. And we have a little bit of paperwork. That's everything inside the box. Let's go ahead and check out the star of the show here, the Galaxy Tab S10 Ultra. First impressions immediately out of the packaging. We have a very thin and pretty lightweight tablet considering the size of this. Have a nice two-tone finish here with the charging slot for that S Pen. You can see here that this year the S Pen is a slightly different color than the tablet itself. We also then have a lighter shade here on the camera rings, although as far as I'm aware, camera specs are exactly the same as last year's Tab S9 Ultra, have our same nice engraved Samsung branding here. Taking a physical tour now, on the top we have our power button and volume rockers. We have two mics and a micro SD card slot, which has room for one micro SD card up to 1.5 terabytes of storage. On the right, we have two of our 4 speakers, and we have our Type-C port capable of 45 watt super fast charging. On that left side, we have one more mic and those other 2 speakers. And on the bottom, we have Samsung's official proprietary connector pins, which you can attach their keyboards and many other accessories too that came out for the Tab S9 Ultra last year. They will all work with this new Tab S10 Ultra. But now one of the main differences on this Tab S10 Ultra that I think a lot of people are going to be interested in is we now have an anti-reflective display, very similar to how we had on the S24 Ultra from the start of this year, that anti-reflective display. Tab S10 Ultra on top, Tab S9 Ultra from last year on the bottom. You can see how much more my studio lighting is just hitting the display. But now taking our first look at the Tab S10 Ultra, a 14.6-inch display. I can immediately tell that this anti-reflective display is doing a great job of just keeping some of that extra lighting and just glare and reflections off of the display, which I think is especially important for such a large tablet and device this is. Initially, the display still feels pretty similar when touching it and using the S Pen against it, but I'll run this through its paces. But I'm going to go ahead, put my information in this tablet, use it for the day, and I'll come back with my final first impressions on the Galaxy Tab S10 Ultra. Alright, so it's been about a day and a half since I first started using this Tab S10 Ultra. I'm definitely ready to share some of my first impressions with you guys. The enormous 14.6-inch display. It almost feels like taking the screen of a laptop and just ripping it off, and then you can just have this in your hands with you wherever, whenever. It still does feel a little unwieldy in the hands when holding it for longer periods of time. So last night I was holding it for about an hour just watching videos in my hand, and my hand did start to get fatigued after a little while. So if you are going to get this tablet, I highly recommend to get some accessories with it. It's definitely nice to at least have some sort of back stand so that you can prop this up when sitting with it on your lap, having it into a slightly raised up angle for doing writing, drawing, and sketching, or just having it more of a desktop setup. But before I get into all that, I want to touch on what is actually new with this Tab S10 Ultra. The main difference is going to be this anti-reflective display. I cannot understate how nice of an upgrade this is for this very large device. Using the Tab S9 Ultra for the past year, including the Tab S8 Ultra for a year before that, the screen is very reflective. I don't know if it's just because it's such a large screen and can capture more light, but I can very often see my reflection when using those past gen devices, whereas on this Tab S10 Ultra, I don't see the reflection of my face at all. You have this tablet at maximum brightness. It can blast out your eyes. It is so bright. So it is nice to not always have to use this tablet at the absolute maximum brightness and blast your eyes out. But aside from this new anti-reflective display, some of the new AI features, really the only other main difference is the new processor, the Dimensity 9300 Plus chipset. On paper, at least, there's about 15 30% gains between the CPU, the GPU, and the NPU, the neural processings, but I can confirm in my first day of usage, I've been very happy with the performance of this tablet. Everything I've thrown at it can handle it perfectly fine. No stuttering or lag or anything. Going between any sorts of menus or multitasking or switching over to Samsung DeX happens right away. There's really no lag on this tablet at all. Taking a look at some of my initial gaming testing, playing Super Mario Strikers on Dolphin Emulator, I had no problem playing this at 4x native resolution. And after playing for about 20 minutes straight, the device was completely cool to the touch, not warmed up at all. So this might be a pretty light task for this beefed up processor, but overall for an average user like me, it feels exactly like the Tab S9 Ultra as far as just really speedy and responsive performance for whatever it is that you want to throw at this tablet. Taking a look at the battery life, I was able to get 9 hours of screen on time in a full 24-hour period, so I'm very impressed with the battery initially. This consisted of a few hours of watching YouTube videos, a few hours of being on Google Chrome, multitasking between different web pages. I was on the home screen a lot, just testing out that maximum brightness and the anti-reflective screen for some of the shots for this video, replying to some of your comments, doing some note-taking in Samsung Notes, doing a little bit of gaming testing, answering some emails and things. But overall, I am very happy with the 9 hours of screen on time. So I just want to let people know that you don't have to worry that this isn't a Snapdragon processor. We still have very good battery life on this tablet and very good performance. Taking a look at the cameras, we have the dual lens setup on the back. We have a 13 megapixel standard lens and an 8 megapixel ultra wide lens. My initial pictures look fine, nothing spectacular here. You can also film up to 4K 30 with these cameras. However, I will say it feels very awkward doing any sort of pictures or video taking with this very large tablet. So this will be fine for scanning documents and things like that, but I think more so the focus will be on the front facing cameras. We also have 4K 30 on the front facing. I do wish we had 60 frames here for a little bit more smoother and premium feeling experience on an ultra tablet, but main feature here is definitely the ultra wide angle lens. This just fits so much into your frame, so this is like literally the perfect tablet for any of your conferences and video calls and things like that. A very versatile front facing camera setup for a mobile tablet, at least here on the Tab S10 Ultra. Taking a closer look at Galaxy AI, of course, all of Samsung's AI features that they've been heavily promoting are going to be packing this tablet straight out of the box, but it is worth mentioning that I have nearly all of these AI features on the Tab S9 Ultra at this point through software updates, and other previous gen devices will continue to get these AI features, so don't feel like you need to upgrade to this tablet just to get the AI features. So overall, I'd say it's a nice quality of life addition, but it's not necessarily a necessity if you already have last year's tablet and want to just keep using what you already have. But overall, first impressions, I am very impressed with the Galaxy Tab S10 Ultra. I'm really enjoying that anti-reflective display. Performance and battery life are very good on this. This definitely still feels like an ultra level tablet as far as just a general use and performance perspective. I am really liking the AI features on this tablet initially. You're able to take better advantage of things just with a much bigger screen real estate. But I'll be curious to hear your thoughts on the Tab S10 Ultra down in the comments below.